If you're a golfer who is flipping or scooping at impact, then you need to listen up. Because a lot of coaches out there are saying grab an alignment stick, place it down the side of the grip. Now, if you flip, you're going to hit yourself in the side. So the aim is to turn through and not hit yourself in the side. Now, that might logically seem right, but it is the worst way to fix a flip. And the reason for that is because it promotes holding angles on the way through. There is not a single tour pro on the planet who holds angles. So all you are doing is training a poor movement. So with that in mind, in today's video, I'm going to take you through a really easy step-by-step guide that you can follow to fix your flip. Here is why, even when golfers get the club face into a good position on the way down, they scoop at it. So not everybody has an open club face who scoops. Some people just don't know the proper movement. And the reason for this is if we isolate the wrists, what we see when golfers are scooping is that they are working the wrist very much in this fashion. The fancy term is flexion and extension. The term that I like to use is a fish's tail. If you ever watch a fish swim, their tail wiggles side to side. Now, if you imagine your wrists are a fish's tail, if I'm wiggling it side to side like a fish's tail, you're going to see if I do that with a golf club, how that is kind of scooping and flicking at the ball. Now, believe it or not, if I was hitting a little chip shot, that's actually quite a good little way to chip because it presents loft. It allows us to hit softer pitch shots, chip shots around the green. But for full swing, where we want to compress the ball, it's the worst way of doing it. So if that's not what we want to see, what do we want to see? Well, again, get rid of the golf club. If a fish's tail is bad, what do we see on the way down? Well, often we'll see as golfers come down, the right wrist will have a little bit of angle, the left wrist will be relatively flat. Some might have a tiny bit of cup, some might have more bow, but we'll see a position like this. Now, believe it or not, as we come through impact, we are going to gently start to release this way like a fish's tail, but we're also going to blend it with some twist. So if I was to highlight two key positions, the first position is shaft parallel to the ground in the downswing. The second position is shaft parallel to the ground in the follow through. And let's isolate the trail wrist because that's the easier one to focus on. At this shaft parallel to the ground in the downswing, we're going to see the trail wrist be slightly pointing down to the ground. That's what we see with most golfers, slightly down to the ground. As we now come into impact, the right palm will then point forwards of the golf ball. And as you come into this follow through position, it'll come to the side of the grip. So the right palm points slightly down to the ground, forwards of the golf ball, and then to the side. What most golfers do who are scooping, the right palm points down, it points forwards, it points up. So the key ingredient you flippers and scoopers are missing is some forearm rotation, and it's as simple as that to fix. Hence why holding angles for as long as possible doesn't work, because that's not what happens. There is an element of letting that club head release and overtake the hands. But as we're doing that, we've also got to make sure we're twisting it over. That gives us some squaring of the face, allows us to deliver shaft lean and fix your flip. On a quick side note, if you are enjoying today's video, then please give it a like and the channel a subscribe. So how do we learn that? Well, the first exercise I like golfers to do is number one, understand shaft parallel and shaft parallel, and just do some open palm sensations. So we're going to go here. We're going to take it back to shaft parallel on the downswing, and we are going to have the palm slightly down to the ground. We're going to come to impact where it points ahead of our body, and then from there we're going to come into this position as if we're shaking hands with the target right here. The palm is on the side of the grip. So we go palm down, palm forward, palm on the side. Now, once you've done that a couple of times, you can take that feeling into actually hitting a shot, and you can do it with your palm open. So if I do one here, palm down, palm forwards, and palm on the side, and you can see there was zero flip. If I play that back in slow motion, you can see palm down, palm forwards, palm on the side, as if I'm shaking hands with the target. Here's the step-by-step guide to learn how to release the club, a basic release. We've got the open palm method that we just went through. Here's another one. Set up to the golf ball normally. Now, from here, take your trail hand, place it on your trail leg. From there, point the club towards the target, just at roughly this shaft parallel position, so kind of at your belt buckle height around this line. Then from there, keep your body nice and square. Head stays in the same position, and just stretch and reach to that golf club right there. And you can see I put my hand on. In this position, that is a perfect release. That'll feel completely alien if you're a golfer who who does this, that horrible scoopy, flicky motion, no compression, not what we want to see. Set up, point towards the target with 0 body rotation, stretch and reach to that golf club. Good rotation, hips have gone forwards, I'm releasing that club fully. Now, the other key thing I just want to say is if I turn to this angle, as I do this, notice how the toe of the club is pointing up to the sky, and that's my position there. And you can see my right hand is shaking hands with the target. If you have a reasonably good grip, so just nothing too severe, that is going to be the perfect position for you. You're going to get full release, full club face control, sharpening, compression, club head speed, everything. Stage 2 is once you've learned that position and take a bit of time to learn it, is to do some push through drills. So you're going to set up inside of the golf ball to start with, in your normal setup position, and you're going to push through without moving your head into this follow through position. And you're trying to hit all those checkpoints. Feel like you push your hips towards the target, belt buckle is going to point towards the target. Feel like as you do this as well, push through, chest points towards the target, club points towards the target, toe of the club points straight up. Now you can actually push a ball down towards the target, just like so. And you can see the ball doesn't go far at all. It's not about that. It's learning to do this with a ball in the way and just simply pushing it down there. So the next stage is to do some hip high to hip high swing, so shaft parallel to shaft parallel. And the key is I want you to hold your follow through position. I want you to feel what it feels like to have that palm point down to the ground and then twist over, and you will feel your forearms start to rotate over each other. So it's very much like you're trying to shake hands with the target. You're not trying to flick the club head towards the target and up. You're trying to shake hands towards the target. So just do that feeling for me. Little half swing here and through. And if I pause in that position, you can see that was a beautiful straight shot. Toe of the club's pointing up. I'm shaking hands with the target. Really nice follow through position. Now the final stage before we hit some full shots is basically 3/4 swings. We're just slowly building this up. We're not looking to hit the ball a mile, we're looking to hit those positions. And the key position is this follow through, shaking hands towards the target, and we're gonna see everything nice and wide away from us. Very different to the fish's tail where everything buckles in. We're gonna feel like there is a little bit of release, but there's also some twist as if I'm shaking hands with the target. And you can see that my right hand is wrapped over as if I'm shaking hands towards the target. And now let's hit a full shot for you. Everything relaxed, just think, one simple swing thought, shaking hands towards the target right there. That's gonna add in that rotation of the face that we need to see. And that is a beautiful dead straight golf shot right there. Felt good contact, gone exactly where I wanted it to go. And all I was focusing on was shaking hands towards the target. Now, before we wrap up the video, it's exactly the same thing with driver. If you're a golfer who struggles with driver, you might look like this. Again, that is the fish's tail analogy. We want to see some forearm rotation on the way through. So, palm pointing slightly down to the ground, palm pointing forwards, palm on the side, shake hands with the target. That's going to give you some more forearm rotation, and that is going to fix your flip. So that is how you fix your scoop and your flick. If you or your buddies struggle with it, then send it to your buddies because they need to fix it so you all can play better golf. If you have any questions, please ask them down below. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and the channel a subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.